Crafters, it's Cynthia. I am back with another card kit video, and this time around I'm going to be using the December 2017 Simon Says Stamp Card Kit, and this one's called Milk and Cookies, and it's all about Doodlebug, and this one is just really cute. The unique part about this particular kit is that there's actually a stamp set based on the Doodlebug characters that was designed by Christina Werner. So that is going to be a lot of fun because I'm a Doodlebug nut, as I'm sure you've gathered by now. And I'm going to have a lot of fun with this. So here is the introduction sheet, and you get 6 beautiful examples done by design team members, and then it'll go ahead and tell you what you get in your kit. So let's see all what we have. Here is that beautiful stamp set I was talking about, and you can see you get Santa, Mrs. Claus, cute little gingerbread guy, you get a puppy and a kitty, lovely Christmas tree, a couple different hearts, and then there's a glass of milk and a little cookie. And then there's different sentiments in here that you can use also. Then you get these wonderful shape sprinkles, and this is really, really cute because these are all enamel, so they have a beautiful texture to them and some gloss. So these are always a lot of fun to use. Then you get a little bag here of this confetti mix of spring sequins, and you can see that they're all different colors in here. And the neat thing about the confetti is that it's a little bit cupped like sequins, but there's no hole in the center, so it really gives you full uninterrupted color. So I really like that. Then you get 12 sheets from the Doodlebug Milk and Cookies set, 6x6 papers, and of course they're going to have all the wonderful Christmas and candy themed elements here. So these pads are always so cute. And the hard part for me is that I always like both sides of the paper, so I'm going to have to cut into this very carefully. But I'm definitely using these trees because I absolutely love them. And I really like the colors. You get the traditional red and green, but then there's pink and blue and kind of a lime green. Really, really cute. And then this cut apart sheet, I'm definitely going to use this because it's a wonderful way to give yourself a little focal or a sentiment really quick and easy. So don't be afraid to use those pre-printed things on your cards. And then look how cute that little scene is. I love their little scenes. And then these are actually very faintly patterned, but they're mostly just solid color. So that's really nice. Then you get one sheet here of, what is this? Oh yes, Neenah Desert Storm. And this is nice 100-pound weight. Then you get a sheet of Simon's beautiful ivory cardstock, which is gorgeous. And I recently placed an order, and I tried to get the ivory cardstock, a package of it, but it was sold out. So I'm going to have to get some of that as soon as I can. And then these gorgeous papers are from Nuvo, and they're a beautiful mess-free glitter cardstock. And this gorgeous color is Tropical Tide. This one is Silver Screen. And then this one is Candy Floss. So these papers are absolutely gorgeous, and I am going to be using them as accents. I don't want to cut like really huge pieces of it and burn through it quickly. I want to use this just as accents. And then the final thing is this little cube here of the Delicata Rose Gold ink from Sukaneko. And this is a really gorgeous color, and it's a pigment ink, so when you use it, you're going to want to set it aside to dry, or use your heat tool on it to dry if you don't want to wait. But it's a beautiful sparkly ink. So that'll be fun to use as well. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get some ideas together, do a little bit of pre-work, and I will be back with card number 1. Alright, for card number 1, I'm using a top folding card base, and I'm going to use that pretty tree paper that I liked so much. And I have it backed with a piece of red cardstock that's just framing the very edge of the pattern paper. And I cut out this little shape from a snow globe die. Now I'm just going to lay that down so I can see exactly where I want the center of the snow globe to go. And this is a My Favorite Things Dynamics die, and it's new this season, and it's the snow globe and the snow globe base. Now this is a little snow globe shaped shaker pouch, and I'm going to use that to cover the globe. And then this is a piece of the My Favorite Things Summer Splash cardstock, and I just used the snow drifts in white and edged it with clear glitter. And I picked colors from that pattern paper, the AP1, the CG2, and YG17. The black markers are Spectrum Noir, and the other one was a Copic. And colored in my little trees so they would match. And now I'm just going to lay that down. I already had some tape on my card base. So I'm laying that into place, making sure it's well attached. Now I'll take away the outside, and then I'm going to put my shaker frame attached to the back side of this panel. So I want to make sure it's sealed all the way around. And then I'm going to put the little shaker pouch in there. And I'm going to add some really cute kind of iridescent chunky glitter, and also some white iridescent sequins. There's the glitter. And it's funny because I thought the pouch was deeper than it is, so I'm going to accidentally overload it. So here's a picture of that. So anyway, too full. So here is the revised shaker with a lot less in it. But you can see that it's very cute. And then I've got my little, I took it here from the Cut Aparts, the Happy Holidays sentiment, and I just put it on a piece of red and cut it out with the base of the snow globe and just attached it. And now I took that gorgeous pink glitter cardstock and punched out 3 pretty little snowflakes. And I'm just going to glue those down as just a little accent to the card. And there we go. So that is card number 1 out of this kit. Okay, so for card number 2, I wanted to do some stamping with that cute little stamp set. And I'm going to create kind of a little grouping. So I will be doing some masking, and I want to use Mr. and Mrs. Claus, the 2 pets, and the Christmas tree. So I'm going to stamp the top most layer, upper layer of stamping first. So here comes the puppy, because the animals are going to be in the forefront. So I'll get the puppy stamp down, and I'm using my little stamp pad underneath, so it gives me a really nice impression. And here goes the kitten down. And now I'm using my Inkadinkado stamping mask paper, and I love this stuff, and I want to create masks for both of the animals and Mrs. Claus. I don't need to worry about Santa because he's the furthest in the back behind the animals and his wife. And then I have to mask her because the tree will be behind her. But anyway, I'm just stamping it on my mask paper, and then I have to, of course, trim out those images as carefully as I can. So I'm just going to separate them from the paper and then start individually cutting. And I want to stay right on that black line. I don't want to go outside of it, and I don't want to go in, but anyway, so here I am going to do the tree, and I've got the masks down. All 3 that I mentioned are already down on the paper, and then I will just peel them up. And I can save these masks and use them several times. And then once the masks are lifted away, then you can see how the grouping looks. All right, so I didn't show all the coloring, but that would have taken too long. So now I'm going to go ahead and use the sequins and some glossy accents as my glue and put those sequins down all over the little tree to act as the ornaments. So I think this is so cute, and then I just trimmed it all out as one piece. And then I put tape on the back, and then I had this extra piece of paper here, which I will use. I could have used the green side, which is also cute, but of course I had to have the trees again. And now I'm putting it down on a piece of that Desert Storm from the card kit. And then I wanted something, so I just cut a little bit of scalloping out of white cardstock. And I believe that's a Lawn Fawn scallop die. Lots of different companies have scallop dies, so you can use anything that you want. And now I'm just going to frame that little piece in the scalloping. And then I'm going to put it down on a piece of my red cardstock, which is a lighter weight cardstock, which is nice for all this layering. Just get that evenly lined up. Then I'll put the whole thing down on my top folding card base here. Do my best. And of course I'm going to put it on upside down, but I fixed that. Now I'm taking the release paper off here, and I'm just going to put this right down in the center of that strip. And then for the sentiment, I cut it out of that sheet from the pattern paper, and I just put it up on another piece of the Desert Storm and popped it up, and then I just clipped the edges to give it some interest. And that is the card. All right, so for card number 3, I'm going to do something a little bit different, and I am cutting some snowflakes out of the 3 different sparkle papers that came in the kit, and I cut 3 of each color, and I just wanted to create a more sophisticated winter background. So I'm using the ivory cardstock from the kit, and it looks a little crazy, but I was trying to use the painter's tape to give me some guidelines to work from. So the vertical strip is kind of showing me where the center of that panel is, and then the horizontal strips are going to give me guidance as to placement, you know, keeping them straight on the card. And then those little white ones are going to be accents. So the snowflakes have been backed with double-sided tape, just to make it super easy to just stick them right down on my project as I go along. And I'm using that ruler again just as another visual aid, because the first one's just like laying a wood floor. The first board will dictate the whole room. So the first snowflake will dictate the card panel. So anyway, getting those laid down in a row. And of course this panel will be trimmed down, so I'm not worrying that it's a little bigger than what I need. So now I'm going to pull away the tape and then continue on with the second row. So now there is the finished, and now I'm going to use a little bit of my tacky glue in the center, and I'm just going to lay out those little white snowflakes. And it's really cute the way they layer together. They kind of create a new pattern in the center. Now I'm using my glossy accents, and I already put it down, and I'm taking some sparkling clear 6mm sequins from Pretty Pink Posh, just as a little accent for the very center of the snowflake. And then the Merry Christmas stamp I wanted to use, but it's awfully petite, so I decided to create a little panel. I'm edging it here with my Barely Beige ink, just to help differentiate it from the background. But with the sentiment, I just wanted to repeat it so that it kind of, you know, has more of a visual impact. And then I heat embossed it in my silver embossing powder. And then I'm just going to lay both of these right down on my card front. And that is the finished card number 3. I really like this one. It's a lot different than the others. So for card number 4, I'm going to do a little bit more stamping and masking. So I've got the puppy here, and luckily I already have the masks for both the dog and the cat. So I will go ahead and use those again. And I just wanted those 2 little darlings to be sitting in front of the tree. So I will get the kitty stamped, and then I will mask her off, and then do the Christmas tree behind them. And they are actually going to get cut out, so I don't need to worry about, you know, exact placement. I just want to make sure it looks attractive when it's all done. So I made the tree a little bit higher so that it looked bigger behind them. And now I'm going to stamp several of those little hearts because I want to color those and use those as accents. And again, I won't be showing all of my coloring, just to help save some time. So I used the same colors from the other card that I made. I think that was card number 2. So I have some warm grays for the kitty and some browns for the puppy, and then using the same 2 reds for the hearts and the Christmas hats. Now I'm coloring in the Christmas tree with just a couple of greens. And I just colored those little ornaments super simple because I'm going to end up covering those in a little bit. And then I just filled in the star yellow because it will also be covered. Now here I am with my little snips again, and I'm just going to do a real simple cutout, and I'm just leaving a nice white frame as I go along. And these are actually pretty simple images to cut out. As long as you are reasonably careful, it should go just fine. So now I'm using my gold pen to cover in his little dog tag. It's a really nice gold metallic. And then I'm using my white gel pen just to add little highlights here and there. It just kind of helps give a little life and depth to things. And I even did it on the tree. So now I'm using my black glaze pen to brighten up their eyes. And then here I'm coming in with some pale gold Nuvo glitter drops, and I'm just going to cover over that yellow star. And then this is the Ruby Slippers, and it starts out a little milky, but that'll clear up as it dries. And then that's the red glitter on the ornaments. And here are the hearts. And oh good, I am showing that. I'm just highlighting the top edge there. So now I wanted to use this stripe paper as if it were the wallpaper in the room, but I'm preserving the piece I cut it from because the flip side is that wonderful heart paper, and I definitely wanted to use it. So my card base, I've got the red covering the entire card front. Now I'm laying down the heart paper, and then I'm going to edge the oval with a slightly larger red oval, just to give it a nice frame. And that'll live right there in the middle. And then I'm using this sentiment, which I can't read right now, but I cut it and stacked it so that it would be not as long. What does that say? I can't even see. Maybe I'll see it in a second. Oh, from our squad to yours, Merry Christmas. Okay, now I'm using my Hero Arts white embossing powder. And I'm going to heat that, and then you can see right there, I trimmed it out and added the white gel pen faux stitching effect. And just put it down at the bottom of the oval. And now I am attaching down some of those little hearts that I created. And then I'm going to add, the red wasn't the right, it just disappeared. So I'm adding the pink enamel hearts from the card kit because they show up better. And that's just going to be a cute little accent. And then I'm popping up the central oval on some foam tape, and I will carefully put that down. And there you go. That is the card. All right, so for card number 5, I'm going to really use a lot of those little enamel shapes because I love them so much. So this sentiment says, all I want for Christmas is cookies and you, basically everything sweet. And I'm going to do some heat embossing again in the Hero Arts white embossing powder, just on a little red sentiment strip. And actually that's My Favorite Things die that happens to fit it perfectly. And that is a My Favorite Things stitched circle die. And I popped it out of the pink. And now I'm just going to attach my little sentiment strip to the bottom of that. And then I'm going to build up a little kind of collage of enamel pieces, just kind of randomly all over that circle. So I'm putting in all the little sweet treats. And my gosh, they are so cute. I just love these so much. And I'm going to throw in those little red hearts. And now the paper is fabulous, and it also is all kinds of little sweet treats. And I'm rounding the corners with my corner chomper, and I'm going to attach that down to the card base. And then this one, I wanted to jazz it up a little, so I'm taking a thicker strip of the pink sparkle paper and a thin strip of the blue sparkle paper and just taping those down. And now this panel is ready to go down on the card base. So I'm popping up the focal piece right there in the center. And then I wanted to add something else, so I'm putting down the white stitching lines on the little sentiment piece. And then I decided I had the centers of those snowflakes that I punched out earlier, and they're perfect. They're sticky backed already, and they're just these perfect little circles. And so I'm just going to scatter those all around that happy little background. So see, I think this turned out so sweet. Really cute. And that is card number 5. All right, so let's go ahead and review the cards that were made today. So let's see, I have card number 1, which was this cute shaker with some snowflakes. And card number 2 was this nice little group shot of everybody together in the Christmas tree. And card number 3 was the sparkle snowflakes. Card number 4 here with the animals and the tree. And finally card number 5 with all the little goodies and that super cute paper. So there they all are. Gosh, it was so much fun making these today. So I do have a second part to this video, and I'm going to show you 5 more cards made with this kit. So that video is going to be coming up in a few days, so please keep your eyes open for that. And thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope that you enjoyed it, and I also hope that you are having fun crafting wherever you are. So you guys take care of yourselves, and I'll see you again very soon with more videos. Bye-bye.